Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for my WIP N Chat. My name is Jenna. Welcome to my channel, Queen of Diamonds. I hope you'll stick around. I would love to have you here. And for those of you returning, welcome back and thank you for continuing to tune in and support my channel. Like I said, tonight I am here with my WIP N Chat. For those of you who are new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and chat means we're just going to chat and catch up. I like to work on a diamond painting, but feel free to work on whatever project you would like. You can listen to this WIP N Chat as you're running errands, doing dishes, doing laundry, housework, whatever you like. But for tonight, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting from Diamond Art Club. It is titled Have a Cup of Cheer by Claudia McKinney. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Let me tell you the stats on this diamond painting, and then I'll show you the original artwork. It is a 55.6 by 73.7 centimeter round drill kit with 63 colors. I had to do a double take because I can't remember. When you have 25 WIPs, it's hard to keep track of the color count on every single one of them. This one has some specialty drills. I don't know if I'll be placing any, I'm sure I will in the section that we're having, because in the section we're doing, because these specialty drills are all over in this kit. It's so pretty. But there are 4 fairy dust and 2 AB drills. It's so pretty. It's beautiful. I'm so impressed with this. And it's been such a nice kit to work on. I mean, literally no problems with the drills, the glue, nothing. It's been perfect. I'm really enjoying it. Let me show you the accessories. Oh, the original artwork. I have this cute frame of the original artwork. Isn't it cute? My friend Sparkling Nana gave this to me with some trays that I got from her. Isn't it so cute? This is my guinea pig diamond painting. It's a guinea pig to me. It's the cutest critter ever. It looks like a guinea pig. Anyway, I have completed the bottom row. I have not made a lot of progress on this. And then I've done the first little tiny section right in here. So we're going to be right in this area for the WIP N Chat. It's so cute. All right, let me show you my accessories, and then I'll change your angle so that you'll be facing down, and we'll get started. Let's see. My cover minder that I'm using for this kit is from Galloways Gallery, and it's this cute cup of hot cocoa. Isn't that cute? And my washi tape is from Waterbugs Garden. I got this last year, so I don't know if this particular design is still available, but I'm sure they have beautiful holiday designs this year. I bought a bunch of holiday designs from Waterbugs Garden last year, and I have loved the quality. I really need to get back and order some more from this shop. Isn't that cute with the stockings for the holidays? I love it. And my release paper are from Bee's Crafty Corner, and it's called Meowie and Bright. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. And I get my release paper cut in 4x4 sections from Bee's Crafty Corner, but you can choose however you'd like to have it cut. And this is on glossy thick paper. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, my pen is from Lathe Customs by Design, and this was churned by Vicki Peterson. I just recently unboxed a lot of the things you're gonna see here in my latest small shop friend mail video. But this is the pen that I received from Lady Lathe. It was a surprise, or I should say mystery pen. It's so beautiful. I love the bling rings right around the center. It's so pretty. The single placer I'm using, I also got in that same video from a friend of mine. This is from Diamond Art Club, and I've never tried their single placers before. I love them. I've been using it all day today. And then my multi-placer is also one of Diamond Art Club's stainless steel multi-placers. I believe this is a 6-placer. I love, that's the size I love, is the 6-placer, but I have all different sizes. My tweezers are also from Diamond Art Club. They're the angled tweezers. And then my trinket tray, let me show you this. This is my trinket tray from Sparkling Nana. Isn't that cute? It matches my kit. I love it. And look at the sides. It's so pretty. And then my coaster that my water is sitting on matches also. Love that. Stay hydrated. I have my water. And then this is my trash pot that also goes along with that set. Isn't that pretty? I love it. Okay, let's talk about my wax and my putty. So I like to use wax in the single placer end and putty in the multi-placer end. The wax I'm using is from Distracted by Diamonds or PaddyWaxx. I love their wax. This one is hot cocoa and butter cookie. Smells so good. So I got that one kind of for this kit. And then the putty I'm using in my multi-placer is from Black Dahlia Diamond Art, and it is hot cocoa. It's part of her winter collection. It smells so good. You've got to check out Shell's winter collection. And speaking of Black Dahlia and Shell and winter collections, I'm using this tray from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. Oh, I have it upside down. There we go. This is one of the 5, I think there are 5 designs that she has in her winter collection for trays. They are so amazing. I love her trays. This is the tray I'm going to be using. I've got to get some more of her winter trays. They are available through February, I want to say. And then in March, her springtime trays will come out. So if you want to get your hands on a winter tray, you've got all through February to get those. I got to get some more of them. And then let's see, is that everything? I think I've covered everything. Okay. Oh, and my drill storage. Gotta show you the drill storage. This is from my big art dot case, and this shares a flat with A Savior is Born. Now, obviously, Diamond Art Club stickers are the same, so it does get a little bit confusing. However, Have a Cup of Cheer is round, and A Savior is Born is square drills. So that helps me not mistake the kits that I'm working on, because I'm not going to place round drills on a square kit and vice versa. All right, let me change your angle, and we'll get started. I have quite a bit to tell you. I mean, I feel like I say that every week, but there's just been so much going on. Anyway, let's get started. I forgot to tell you a couple of things real quick before I forget. Next week, my WIP N Chat will be a little bit different. I'm looking at my calendar because Christmas Day is on the 25th, which is a Thursday. So I would normally record my WIP N Chat on Thursday night and put it up on Friday. Now, the reason I'm thinking about rearranging my schedule next week is because there is going to be a Christmas premiere going up, and I don't want to interfere with all of the premieres that are going up. So check out the Christmas premieres. It's a whole string of, I don't even know how many total they have this year on the Christmas premieres, but they start, do they start Christmas Eve? I think. They start Christmas Eve and go all through Christmas Day, and then I think they go until the evening of the 26th, I think. But in any case, I know for sure that you're going to see those all day on Christmas Day and part of Friday, the 26th. Mine will be up on Friday, the 26th at 2 a.m. my time, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't have to be live. However, if you are live, I will be there watching and you can chat with me live. I've never done this before. This is a first for me. I didn't do it last year. So I think that's how it works, is I'll be live chatting with you through the comments while the Christmas premiere is going up. Now, the Christmas premiere video is not a live. It is pre-recorded, but I will be there live talking with you. If you can make it to the actual showing of the video, then you can chat with me live. But if you have to watch it on a replay, that's totally fine too. They will be available to watch at any time. So I know 2 a.m. is not the ideal time, but you can watch it anytime. So just know that if you do watch it live, when it is actually posted at 2 a.m. my time, I'll be there. Remember, that's my time, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Mountain Standard Time. So there you go. So in any case, what I was saying is I probably will not, so that I don't interfere with the premieres, I probably will not do my WIP N Chat Thursday night. I was thinking I'll probably do it Friday night and post it on Saturday. So it'll only be one day later than normal, but I still want to get my WIP N Chat up. So that's probably what I'll do, is record it on the 26th, put it up on the 27th. So there you go. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that, so you weren't wondering where I am next week. But check out the Christmas premieres. It's going to be really fun, and you don't want to miss them. Mine is a little bit quirky. I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to lay it out. It's the first year I've ever done it. I had no idea what I was doing, and I tried to make it really fun, but it's kind of chopped up. But anyway, like I said, it's my first year, and I do go into a little bit of a deep beginning, just to warn you. It does get a little bit deep right at the beginning, but then we just have fun after that. So if you can make it through the deep part, then it'll be great. Anyway, let's get started on the WIP N Chat. This is the section we're going to be doing, and I'm going to peel the release paper back in just a moment. But for right now, I just want to bring my trinket tray over here, and I'm going to load the putty into my multi-placer on this trinket tray so that I have a hard, flat surface to do that. My guinea pigs were just fighting. I apologize for that. It has been pick on flash week, and I'm really getting tired of my little Flashy being picked on. Really getting tired of it. Flash, are you okay? Poor guy. I mean, they're just picking on him. I hate it. All right, so we're going to load putty into the multi-placer. I'm going to show you how I do it for those of you who might be trying putty for the first time and not really sure how to load your putty. I might have to bring Flash onto my lap here in just a second if things don't calm down. I don't like to see him getting picked on. All right, I'm just going to press my multi-placer into the putty like that, like you're cutting cookies in a cookie cutter, or with a cookie cutter, I mean. And then I'm going to check that and make sure that that well is all filled up with putty. Now, I'm probably going to need to give it a second go because I can feel that it needs a little more putty in there. Sometimes the first press down just fills up that well, and then the second time you press down, you get the putty up at the surface so that you can pick up the drills better. And then I'm just gonna scrape off the sides with my fingernail to clean up those sides real good. I keep looking over at them because I just want to make sure he's okay. I don't know if I can diamond paint with a guinea pig on my lap, but we might try it out here in a minute if another fight breaks out. Okay. And then I'm just going to make sure that that putty is pressed down in there really good because I kind of got distracted for a second looking at those guys. And I'm cleaning up the sides and just making sure that that's packed in there really good. And there we go. Looks good. Okay. So there is my multi-placer. Poor Flash, he's just huddled over in a corner all by himself. And then I'm going to put wax in my single placer end. And rather than take the whole brick of wax out every time I load up wax, I'm just going to take it out that far and scrape my single placer into that wax like that. And then I press it down with my finger and kind of make sure that it's in there really good. I'm going to press it on my fingernail, or I could press it against my trinket tray, whatever is easiest for you. And then I'm going to throw that away. Okay, we're all good to go. All right. I know why they're fighting. Give me just a minute. I'm back. I had to fill up their hay bag because I noticed it was low and Flash was trying to get hay and so was everybody else. So I think that's why they were fighting. We'll see. Anyway, okay, the pen is ready to go. So now I'm ready to peel back this release paper and we can start this section. Now I'm feeling like I'm going to sneeze. Wow, what is going on here? Okay, I am going to rearrange this because when I put my drills down after I showed you how I was storing it, I didn't put it down with the right drills on the right side. Anyway, just the way I have it all set up. I'm trying to get myself all squared away here. I'm going to play with this for just a minute. Okay, there we go. We're set. All right, our first symbol, I just start in the bottom right-hand corner of every section, and I work my way this way, hitting all of those symbols as I go. And as I get the symbol in my tray, I try to get all of that symbol in this section. I try anyway, you know. Sometimes I just always miss symbols somehow. Somehow I always seem to. Okay, this first color is going to be 407, and we're going to start with that one. I don't even know what to catch you up on other than I'll just start with where we left off last week. That's just the easiest way for me to remember what to update you on. We did not get the house. We got a email on Friday morning last week, so right after I recorded my last WIP N Chat. Friday, morning, we got an email saying that they had rented the house out to another applicant. So I was really bummed out, as we all were, that that didn't work out. And as of today, I have no idea where we're going to move. I have no idea. And it's an aggravating situation for all of us. It's not just aggravating for me. It's aggravating for us all. I will tell you though, so Saturday was going to be the gender reveal day. And Friday, I told the kids to just let me have a pity party for about an hour and then I would snap out of it. Well, I didn't even spend an hour having a pity party because what I did was started looking at places right away. And that kind of helped me get out of my pity party mindset, but it also didn't give me any time to really come to terms with the fact that now all of our plans had fallen through. And so Kennedy and I went and looked at a house Friday, which wasn't a good option for us, simply because Kennedy really liked it. This has a black dot on the top of it. Kennedy really liked the house we looked at, but the problem I foresaw with that home is everything was teeny tiny, like all the bedrooms were really small. It was a 5-bedroom, but it was really small. The bathrooms were tiny with only one cupboard under the sink to put all of our stuff in. No like linen closet or anything, no linen closets in the hallway. These are things I look at because where I have rented so much, I know what's going to be a problem for me and what's not, and things that I normally wouldn't have noticed about a house. I now notice. So the fact that there was absolutely nowhere to put like hot tools, brushes, bathroom stuff, things like that, let alone towels and a medicine cabinet, none of that was there. We only literally had a teeny tiny cupboard under the sink. And so that was one of the biggest things. The other biggest thing was that I really liked the kitchen area and the living room. I liked that a lot. But the faucets were old. Okay, I've got to dirty up my putty or something. I don't know what's going on here. But these drills are not wanting to lay down. The faucets were the old ancient faucets that look, and this was an older home. Okay, I will say that. It was an older home and the ad said that it was recently remodeled. It wasn't remodeled. What they've done is painted everything white. And that's really the only thing I noticed that was new. The carpet wasn't new. I mean, there wasn't a ton of carpet. It was mostly kind of that hardwood laminate. I can't remember what you call that. But I liked that. But in the bedrooms, the carpet was older. And the faucets, though, and I noticed it first in the kitchen, but then I started noticing it in the bathrooms, too. We're talking ancient faucets, like from the 60s. And the kitchen faucet, I don't mind dealing with certain things. And had the bedrooms been bigger, I probably would have ignored the faucet part of it. But I just kept seeing all these things that I was like, yeah, I don't want to ignore that. I can't ignore that unless we have this. Anyway, there were too many things that I didn't really love. And Kennedy did agree with me, though, that the bedrooms were really small. That was definitely something we both noticed. And the way that the bedrooms were split up, too, was a little bit confusing. Now, they had listed it as a 5-bedroom, but the floor plan, and we're running into this a lot, where it'll be listed as a certain amount of bedrooms and bathrooms, and then you look at the floor plan and it doesn't match the listing. So in this particular case, though, it showed that so it was listed as 5-bedroom, but I was looking at the floor plan and it showed 6 bedrooms. And I'm like, if this has 6 bedrooms, that's really intriguing because the price was amazing for 6 bedrooms. But when we went and looked at it, the floor plan had counted the laundry room as a bedroom. Now, the laundry room was tiny with cement floors and cement walls, which reminded me of the house we were just in and before the apartment. And I just, I saw that laundry room and just thought, oh my gosh, I can't do this again. And there was, again, no closet in the laundry room. It was literally just like a 6x6 room, 6x6 foot room with washer and dryer hookups. The last place we were looking at came with a washer and dryer. This one did not, and I don't have a washer and dryer. Could we get one? Well, sure. That's something we'd have to think about. But anyway, the bathroom, the shower / tub, that tub was like old tub. And again, would I been able to deal with it? Sure. But there were too many cons to this house and not enough of the pros. And so in thinking about that, I just, I'm looking for my drills. I don't have my drills for Have a Cup of Cheer set up the way I really like my drills set up. So I'm a little bit lost when I'm looking for these symbols. Anyway, so, like I said, we kind of liked it, but it was, there were just too many things I didn't like. It was just old. And when you say newly remodeled, I'm thinking you at least have like some newer appliances, newer plumbing fixture, something that's newer, but nothing was new. There was, however, a dishwasher, so it wasn't that old, but all of the kitchen appliances were out of date and everything. I mean, you could tell that. Why is my dog barking? Oh my gosh. So my kids left to go up to their dad's for a few hours. So I got that taken care of. And now I've got the dog. I don't know what he's barking at. If he barks again, I'll go, oh my gosh, give me just a minute. Oh my gosh, between the cats and the dog and the guinea pigs. Wow. Anyway, so I just voted no on it when we left. And Kennedy said, well, why? And I said, the bedrooms were tiny. And she said, well, I know, but we could have dealt with it. And I said, well, you're right, we could have. But there were also really old plumbing fixtures and really ancient appliances in the kitchen. And she's like, I think you're being a little bit snooty. And I said, I might be being a little snooty. You're right. But I don't want to hate the place we move into. And I definitely don't want to move in a year because I don't want to keep moving. I'm not saying that I'm going to get into a place and stay there the rest of my life. I'm not that delusional, but I would like to at least stay a few years in one place because every time I move, I'm losing a cleaning deposit and I'm having to come up with new money for another deposit. And I just don't want to go through this again, at least for a couple of years. So I'd like to get somewhere that will assign like an 18-month or 2-year lease with us. That's what I would really like, so that we are locked into the amount of rent. The rent won't go up and we don't run the risk of losing the place or, having anything impede with us staying there. I just don't want to keep moving every year, Anyway, so that was the house we went and looked at. I didn't love it. It was also not the best neighborhood. There were just a lot of things that I was like, I don't want to do this. It also looked like there had been some plumbing issues because you could see water stains on some of the walls and the ceilings and stuff. So I definitely don't want to go through that again. Anyway, we decided to keep looking, and we found a place that my mom actually found it, and she found it on an apartment website. And when she first showed me, I'm like, why are you looking at apartments? I'm not moving into another apartment. And she said, no, this is a house, but it was listed on an apartment website. And she said, I just happened to get a notification that there was this house available. Well, I called on it, and it's a guy that's renting it, like the homeowner, not an agency, which is huge. And he said that he would text me on Thursday, which was today, with a time to go see it on Friday. Well, I heard from him today, and he wanted to change the time to Sunday at 3:00. So Sunday we are going to go see that house. He said he had some last minute projects he was working on before he could show it. So we are very excited to go see that house. It is a 5-bedroom. It seems really big. Like the square footage is bigger than the square footage at that house that we liked. And so that intrigues me. It's a little bit more expensive, but at this point, I'm willing to, it's still within our budget. So it's fine. Anyway, I'm willing to, take a hit a little bit on the price as long as it stays within our budget and have a little more space. I'm willing to do that. So that's exciting. And I think we'll all be able to go look at it on Sunday because Sunday's a good day for all of us to be available. That'll be exciting to go see that house. I will let you know how that goes. Wouldn't it be great if we found a house right before Christmas? It would be like my best Christmas present ever. Anyway, for those of you who didn't see the gender reveal video, we found out what the gender is for Kennedy. It is a boy. So I will be having a little grandson in June. Her due date is June 21st. And I can't tell you how excited I am. I'm thrilled. The baby's name will be Juno, like Juneau, Alaska. So little baby Juno. And Juno JJ, but we're going to call him Juno. I'm so excited. I just can't wait. They are both thrilled. I think Ken was in shock for the first couple hours, but she thought she was going to have a boy, but it was so funny because I can't remember if I told this story or not, but a couple of days before the gender reveal, I knew the gender, right? But Kennedy didn't. And we were out for a walk because we've just been having really great weather here. So we were out for a walk and Kennedy said, I don't know what I'll do if I'm having a boy. And I said, I thought you said you wanted a boy. And she said, no. I said, I think I'm having a boy. She's like, I really want a girl. I don't know what to do with a boy. And I said, well, just keep in mind that it'd be fun for a change if that's what you're having. And then I'm like, but who knows? Could be a girl. And she said, you're just not going to let me have any hints, are you? And I said, nope. And so she kept telling herself that she was going to have a boy. And I think it was kind of her way of psyching herself up for it. But she didn't seem disappointed at all. I think she just needed to adjust to the knowledge that it is a boy. Kind of like me when I found out. I mean, when I first looked at the results of that blood work and it showed it was a male, my first thought was, oh, how am I going to do a boy? But then I was just filled with total excitement. I'm so excited. And when you think about it, this little boy is going to have so many girls loving him. I mean, Kennedy has 2 sisters that are going to live with them and a me, living with them, giving this baby all kinds of love. And I'm sure her sisters will be too. I know they will. I just dropped some drills, so I moved my canvas for a second. I know they'll be so excited. And Joel has sisters, and sister-in-laws. So that little boy is going to have so many women in his life that he's not going to know what to do. And I just think that it will be so fun to experience a boy. I can't be more thrilled. I am so excited. And I just love the name Juno. I think that's so cute. Kennedy's dad is named Bill, and he goes by Billy. And he said, you should name him Billy Joel. And Kennedy was like, that would be cute. However, we're really sold on Juno. And she did think that was kind of clever to name it Billy Joel. Her dad is sold that the baby is going to be Billy Joel. Like, he won't accept that it's going to be Juno. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, it'll be fun. I'm so excited. So that's that. And let's see, what else? I feel like I have a lot to fill you in on, not just the house hunting. So yeah, I almost had a nervous breakdown last Friday, Keith quickly called me and was like, he was kind of my voice of sanity that day, because when we found out that house was gone, I thought I was going to come unglued. And I texted him and said, we lost the house. They gave it to somebody else. And he quickly replied back and said, oh no. And I said, yeah, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Well, he called me and he's like, Jenna, look, I've got some houses for you to look at. And so he really helped me get out of my funk real quick. And we were looking at, that's how we found that house that we went and looked at. So anyway, it worked out okay. And then I just kind of targeted all of my attention onto the gender reveal, and we started really working on that. We got a lot of it done on Friday night in preparation for Saturday. And then Saturday was so much fun with the gender reveal. We had a really good time at that party. I could not believe how many people were there. There were so many people at the gender reveal. I bet we had upwards of 60 people in my parents' house. And it was fun. We had a hot chocolate bar, and oh my gosh, I was in love with the hot chocolate bar. One of my favorite things about the hot chocolate bar was, there's a hair right there, the peppermint spoons. So they were candy cane. I can't get the hair out of there. They were candy cane spoons that you stir your hot chocolate with. And I loved them. And then the pumpkin spice shots, Joel's mom made those, and they were so good. So you could put a shot of pumpkin spice in your hot chocolate. Oh my gosh, it was delicious. And then we had pizza, and we just all kind of hung out. Well, so after the gender reveal party kind of ended, Allie and Sydney and I were in charge of cleanup. So we cleaned up, and there were still people lingering when we left. They just, they were talking to Joel and Kennedy, and everybody was enjoying themselves. So we excused ourselves and went home. And the next day was Sunday. And Sunday was, I worked Saturday night because my mom went to see the Mormon Tabernacle Choir Christmas show, which is a really big deal. And she got invited to go to that, so she needed somebody to come and sit with my aunt and help my dad if he needed help. So I told her I would do it. Well, I was there at my mom and dad's most of Saturday evening. I think I left their house at like 10 to go home. And I had a really fun time on Saturday because Kennedy and Joel left to go to the Lights at Hogle Zoo. That is a zoo in Salt Lake. And they came back and said they had a really good time, but it did get kind of cold. So that was fun for them. And then I had just watched a Christmas movie with my aunt. And then I can't even remember what we watched. And then I diamond painted while she worked on a puzzle. And I was able to work on A Savior is Born. So that was nice. And then on Sunday, we just decided to have a relaxing day on Sunday. I had some things I wanted to get wrapped up. I wanted to get my laundry done, and the girls wanted to get some things done before the new week started. So we just decided we were going to put house hunting on pause and hit it really hard the next day going into the new week. Well, Monday came, and let me tell you, Monday was not a fun day because Allison, my 19-year-old, who is my middle child, decided Monday that because we were not coming up with a plan quick enough, she was going to bail out and go live with her dad. And I started having massive stress level with her deciding that, because one of the fun things about this whole situation is having all of my kids back under one roof, right? But if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, and that's okay. Maybe I started thinking, okay, maybe it's better for everybody if Allison decides to do this, if that's what she wants to do. I couldn't handle the added stress of her having a meltdown. So I just said, Allie, if that's what you want, then, fine, whatever is going to make you happy. Will your dad let you have the cat? And she said, no, I just talked to him and he won't. So I'm going to start looking at studio apartments, which she did, and she didn't like any of them. And now she's back on board to live with us. So that's a relief. She did not like any of the studio apartments within her budget. So she's back on board with moving in with us. But that was a stressful day for me on Monday. And Monday is when we found this house. Or was that Tuesday? I can't even remember. But anyway, I think it was Tuesday. So I've just been kind of coasting through the week. I do look at houses every once in a while, but I literally cannot bring myself to pay for another rental agency. And it's really kind of aggravating to me. There was actually just a story in the news about a family here in Utah that they got a house to rent and moved into it, and they got kicked out of it because the renter was not a legit owner of that house. They were a scammer. And they didn't even have the right to rent that house out. So the owners found out that the house had been rented and, of course, came in and kicked the family out. And the family was out without a house. I mean, they didn't have anywhere to go. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, now it wasn't the agency that we went through. I think this was a private renter. So of course, then when I saw this house that is by a private renter that we are going to see on Sunday, I had Keith kind of do some digging because he's really good at that. And he came back and said, I think you're okay with this posting. It looks pretty legit. So we're going to see what happens on Sunday. But if he's got an application right there for us to fill out, I will fill it out. Boy, let me tell you, we will be all about that. And if everybody's there and we can get everybody on that application right then and there, that would be great. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been a rough week in that regard. But I've just been kind of trying to survive it, basically, and not let it get the best of me. It's hard, you know, because I like to have a plan also, but this is part of moving. You know, you've got to find a place and come up with a plan, and that's part of the process. So we just had found out on Friday that we weren't getting that house, and it's not like we could just the next day come up with another plan. Should we have a plan B? Yeah, there's just not a lot of plan A's right now, so there's not going to be a lot of plan B's. But we'll see how it goes with this house. And if that house doesn't work out, I don't know. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll figure it out. Things will work out. I just have to tell myself they will. And they usually do, you know. So we'll figure it out. But that was all of the updates on the move. And then not a lot in that regard, just that we got denied for that house, and not denied, but they rented it to somebody else. So this whole week has been, and I say this with love towards my mom. Okay. I want to make that very clear. I love my mom, but I'm really bitter right now because, and I don't think I'm bitter at her. I'm just bitter in general. So finding out that Kennedy's pregnant and kind of wanting to reminisce about my childhood and Kennedy. There's a lot of things that my kids don't know about my life. I wanted to get this on I wanted to film all of us watching the old movies of me and my sisters and my brothers when we were all little, like little. And my parents have 8mm film reels with all of our childhood events on it, you know, and I was really looking forward to watching those. Now, here's the thing that's maddening. So about a year ago, it was around Christmas time, actually, because I remember thinking about doing it for Christmas Eve. I was in my mom and dad's room that is an extension of the office where I film my unboxings and all of that. In the extension of that room, there is a big storage room where they keep like food storage and just storage in general. Well, in that storage room, there was a big hard case next to the box of all of our 8mm reels. And when I was growing up, we watched those on like a white sheet. And it was really fun to watch those old videos that didn't have any sound, but it was just fun to see the 70s and what life was like. And there's video footage of my aunt right after her accident. She's learning how to walk again, and video footage of my older sister when she was a baby, and my parents' home that they lived in when I was born, and all of that. And it's just a really fun experience to watch those older films. So I had this image, this dream of watching that with my family last year. And my mom said, so anyway, I went to my mom and I said, what is in this case that's next to the 8mm reels? And she said, oh, that's the projector. And I said, oh my gosh, we have the projector and the reels? And my mom said, yes. And I said, does this projector work? And she said, I think it needs a new light bulb, but yes, it works. So I was really excited. Well, we didn't end up doing it last year because I can't remember exactly why, but we didn't end up doing it. So I thought it would be really fun to do that on my Christmas video, my premiere, and show a little bit of that because it is really fun to see that. Well, Last spring when we had a sibling spring cleaning day and my family came, my siblings came to clean up my mom and dad's house, it was originally just going to be a painting day where we were going to paint. Well, then my mom got kind of carried away with all of us there helping, and she said, let's do a reorganization of the basement. Well, in theory, that sounds fun and it sounds very nice. So we decided, well, my older sister decided everybody was going to meet up at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. I said, I vote no for 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. And she said, why? And I said, why that early on a Saturday? I don't get to sleep in ever. And she said, well, I've got to get up and get going early so we can get it done. And I said, well, let's do like 10. And she said, no, we're doing 8 o'clock in the morning. And it was not something that there was any discussion about. So it was just 8 o'clock. Well, I wasn't going to show up at 8 o'clock. Sorry, no. And I showed up at about 9 or 9:30. Well, they had done so much by the time I got there because my sister and her husband, my brother and his wife, and some of their kids had shown up to help clean up too. And by the time I got there, I went down in the basement and I specifically told Kennedy, upon seeing everything that they had done, I said, I wonder how much stuff has been thrown out. And Kennedy said, I know. And she said, Mom, I heard Aunt Tiffany tell somebody, just throw it out. Just get it out of here so their basement is organized. Just throw it out. Don't even ask my mom because she wants to keep everything. Well, here's the problem. I went in to get the 8mm stuff a couple of weeks ago to get it ready to record for my premiere video. And I couldn't find it. So I went to my mom and I said, hey, remember that projector and those 8mm film reels of us when we were little? And my mom said, yeah, what about them? And I said, where are they? Because they were in the storage room. Now they're not there. And my mom said, well, they're somewhere. And I said, well, do you know where? And she said, no, but they're in this house somewhere. I have torn my mom and dad's house apart looking for those things, and I can't find them. So I said, after a whole day of tearing everything up, looking for those things, I finally said to my mom, did they get thrown out when we had the sibling cleaning day? And my mom said, no, nobody would have thrown those out. And I said, well, I can't find them, Mom. They are not here anywhere. And she said, they wouldn't have gotten thrown out, Jennifer. And I said, okay, well, they're not in this house. Do you think one of my siblings took them home? And my mom said, no, they wouldn't have done that. And I said, well, I think you need to ask them because sometimes they will take things with good intentions of putting them on a digital, like doing them digital, and then we'll never see them again. So I said, can you please make sure that whoever has them doesn't get rid of them? So my mom said, nobody has them. And she's like, I'm sure nobody took them. And I said, Mom, at least ask them because they're not here. I'm not finding them anywhere. I've looked everywhere that they could possibly be. And my mom said, well, I'll ask. So she asked my sister, and my older sister said, I'm sure they're there somewhere. And my mom said, did you happen to take them, to digitize them? And my sister said, I don't think so. I don't remember. And this is the problem, okay? It's that I don't remember doing that. That syndrome, okay, this is not good. So I was getting really frustrated, and I told my mom, I'm like, this is my history. Like, we've got to find those film reels and the projector. And my mom said, they've got to be here somewhere. So my mom left all week, and I think it's because she's avoiding me, who's driving her crazy about the film reels and the projector. So I did get my mom to help me look for them one of the days this past week. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. And she came down in the basement, and she's like, I don't know what projector you're talking about. And I said, well, the projector that you told me still works, but it needs a new light. And she said, honestly, I think you dreamt that. And I said, Mom, no, I didn't. I did not dream that. I'm going to put a clip of it at the end of this WIP N Chat because Kennedy happened to record us while we were arguing. And it is kind of comical, I guess. I'm a little bit bitter about it. I think if those film reels do not turn up, I will probably be bitter about that for the rest of my life, because why would somebody throw something like that out? I just don't understand. Like, if you don't think something is worth time, why don't you take a picture of it and send it to the sibling that is not there and ask them if it's something that they would like? Because the other thing is, you know, I have my brother who passed away when he was almost 30. It has been 17 years since he passed away, and he was like my best friend. And he and I were kind of the black sheep of the family. And I always felt like he got a bad rap, and so did I. I still do. I feel like I get a bad rap. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I always felt like he got a bad rap, and I always felt really, I don't want to say I felt sorry for him, but I did. I always felt bad that nobody really gave him a lot of attention or a lot of second thought. It kind of bugged me. But he and I were really close. Well, my sister, the day that we had the big cleaning day, my sister had a picture of my brother from when he was a toddler, and he had a cowboy hat on. It is the cutest picture. It's one of my dad's favorite pictures. She had that in the pile to go to Goodwill, or what we call DI. And I said, why are you putting this picture of our brother in the DI pile? And she said, well, somebody would want that frame. And I said, I'm sorry, I want the picture. I don't care about the frame itself. I want the framed picture. And she said, and I said, why would you get rid of this picture of him? I was so upset. And she said, take a picture of it with your phone. And I said, no, I want the actual picture. I'm old school. I want the actual picture that I can touch and feel, you know. I want the tangible item instead of a digitized picture. And she said, oh my gosh, Jennifer, you're being ridiculous. So I said, I'm keeping this picture. And I took it out of the pile and I put it in a Jennifer pile. My full name's Jennifer, but I go by Jenna. So then there were a couple of other photos that she did the same thing with, and I put them in my pile. And my sister said, you better take that picture home. I don't want to see it here at Mom and Dad's house. And I said, oh, I will. I'm going to take it home and I'm going to put it on my wall. This is my brother. And she said, okay, Jen, he's my brother too. And it was just kind of it was kind of maddening. So I knew there would be things that would end up missing after that spring cleaning organization day, but I didn't think it would be any of the family history of our family. I did not think they would go to the extreme of getting rid of that stuff. So my mom doesn't want to admit that it's probably thrown out, thoughtlessly and carelessly thrown out, I might add. She doesn't want to admit it. But I think deep down she knows that that's what's happened. So she has been taking off every day. And I think, honestly, it's because she doesn't want to face me asking about the projector and the film reels. But they are gone. Now, there is only one hope here. My mom thinks that she got them transferred onto VHS cassette tapes. We have not been able to get the VHS machine working because we're lacking the correct hookups. So we have the hookups coming. They will be here on Friday, tomorrow. Well, you'll be seeing this on Friday. But we'll probably get the VHS working on Saturday. So Saturday I'm working again. I can't remember where my mom's going, but she has somewhere to go on Saturday with my dad. And so I told her I would come and work and be there for my aunt while they go do whatever it was. I think they have a Christmas party or something that they're going to. So I'm going to stay with Sid again on Saturday. But Kennedy and I thought that would be a good time to see if we can find those family videos, because my kids are really interested in seeing those. And my one of the tapes that I found is Kennedy's ultrasound from when I was pregnant with her. And she's really intrigued by that. So if we can get that VHS to work, hopefully all of the family footage will be on a VHS tape. I don't think they are. If you want the truth, I'm not trying to be negative, I don't see any. We have 3 boxes of VHS cassettes, and I don't see one that is labeled family videos. Not one. There are blank VHSs, and I don't know if they're actually blank or if they just didn't get labeled. But if a professional place transferred videos onto a video cassette, they would have labeled them. And I'm not seeing anything that's labeled. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because if they're not in there, oh, there's going to be some major issues coming up here. I'm going to be upset if those are gone forever and I'll never get to see those again. Yeah. Not happy about that. You know, it's just kind of bothersome to me how things get handled sometimes. And I just feel like I'm not very important for not to be even consulted about things that are being thrown out. You know, that really bothers me. I feel like I'm not really present. I feel like I'm a ghost in the family. And that's how my brother and I both used to feel when he was still alive. We just felt like we didn't really matter to the family. And this is the kind of behavior that makes me feel that way, you know? So anyway, again, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just really frustrated about that. That really upsets me. So either I'm hoping that those film reels turn up quickly, or that they're on the VHSs. That's fine. But I'll tell you one thing. If they are on the VHSs, those VHS cassette tapes are coming home with me, and they will be put in a safe where I can keep my eye on them and not worry about them being taken, because this isn't the first time things have been taken from my parents' house. And it's things that I'm a part of too. And they'll mysteriously disappear. And then later they're found at so-and-so's house. And, oh, mom gave me those. And my mom's like, no, I didn't. Yeah. So I will tell my mom where they're going to be, but I'm going to keep them, and they will be protected, because I'm not going to have people throwing stuff out like that. That really upsets me. So anyway, that's enough of that. But I will hopefully have those this weekend. I really hope they're on there. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But when I looked in that box, it's not looking too promising, but we'll see. Anyway, it will be fun nonetheless to look at some of those videos. And the funny thing is, some of those videos are, some of those VHS recordings are things I recorded on TV that I wanted to watch. And I thought it would be fun to show my kids some of the commercials and stuff back from the 80s. I just think that will be a riot to see some of that. Speaking of commercials and things, I watched a video this past week, and it was so funny to me. If you are an 80s kid, you should look up this YouTube video. It is called 25 80s commercials that 80s kids will have memorized. And it's so funny to me because I remember these commercials from the TV when I was a little girl. Things like Zestfully Clean. Do you remember that song, that tune, Zestfully Clean? And what was the other one? Double Mint Gum. Or was it Double Mint? No, Big Red. Big Red. That commercial of the couple kissing on the porch, and they're kissing for a really long time while all this stuff is going on around them. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of commercials. And Michael J. Fox was the spokesperson for Pepsi. And I don't know if you remember that. I barely remembered that one. And then Raise Your Hand If You're Sure for Sure deodorant. There was a ton of them. I was having a blast watching that. If I can remember to put that in the description box of the video, I will try to link that, because if you were an 80s kid, you might really enjoy that video. It's kind of funny. The other thing is, regarding the 80s, this was so sad to me, and no one else is sad about it. The actor who played Buck Rogers passed away. And let me tell you something about Buck Rogers. That was my show when I was a little girl. I remember wanting so badly to be the girl in Buck Rogers. I can't remember the actress's name. And I can't remember the guy's name who played Buck Rogers either, but I remember him as Buck Rogers. And I remember his little robot sidekick. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to marry Buck Rogers when I grew up. That was my plan. That was my dream in life, was to travel to all these different galaxies and fight off all these evil space people with Buck Rogers by my side. We would be married, and I would look just like that girl. That was my dream when I was little. And I'm talking like 4 or 5 years old. I remember that. I remember the house we lived in and watching Buck Rogers on the TV that we had. in that house. It's so funny. So I went up to my mom today and I said, I've been meaning to tell you the saddest news. And she said, what? And I said, the actor who played Buck Rogers died. And my mom said, I don't remember that show. And I'm like, what? How can you not remember Buck Rogers? It's like Charlie's Angels time period. And my mom said, I don't remember Buck Rogers. Well, my aunt said, I remember Buck Rogers. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. So I was so happy that my aunt came to my rescue about that show. But I was telling Kennedy and my mom and dad how I wanted to be married to Buck Rogers, and they were laughing at me. So it was so funny. But I looked up some Buck Rogers episodes on YouTube, and I started down this rabbit hole of all these old 80s shows that I used to watch when I was young. Oh my gosh. Some of them are a little more well-known than others, like, oh my gosh, Gilligan's Island. And there was another one we waited all week to watch, and I can't remember. But do you guys remember V the series and V the Final Battle, where the people are from another planet and they're here pretending to be good, but under their skin they're lizards? They had a remake of it in the I want to say the mid 2000s, maybe early 2000s. They tried to remake it, and it was really cheesy. They did not do a good job of remaking it. I watched it, but the original is still the best. Oh my gosh, I loved V. That was such a good show. V was probably one of my all-time favorites. We would wait and wait all week for that show to come out. Me and my mom and my brother Billy. We loved that show. Billy is my brother who passed away. But anyway, then I started watching all of these different 80s. It was just fun. I love 80s. I'm actually going to, in one of my videos after the first of the year, well, I didn't want to get into this too much, but I've got an 80s trivia game to play, and it'll be fun. I think I'm going to do some kind of activity like that. I don't know how regularly, but I want to start doing something like that with all of you, just for fun. I haven't decided yet if there will be prizes given away. I'm still trying to figure all that out. But anyway, I wanted to talk about my WIP detox. Let's chat about that, because I've had some thoughts since last week when I announced that I was going to be doing a WIP detox. Am I still doing it? Yes, I am. And it's still about the same basics. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who didn't watch last week's WIP N Chat, I have 25 current WIPs. That is so many. And it's gotten to the point where it's not as much fun anymore. It's more stressful. Do I still enjoy diamond painting? Absolutely. But thinking about all of my WIPs gets me a little bit stressed out. And this hobby is not supposed to be stressful. It's supposed to be a fun, relaxing hobby. So I have decided to put myself in a WIP detox. That's what I'm calling it. And my initial thought was that I wouldn't be able to kit anything up until I finished all 25 of my current WIPs. And that is the ideal way to do this WIP detox. However, I have a few exceptions, and I want to explain those because I'm still going to do the premise of not taking on any more projects till I get my WIPs done. But this is where I get a little bit of the gray area. So my initial thought was kind of black and white, right? Do all the 25 before I can kit anything up. But then I started thinking, well, shoot, I want to do this Winnie the Pooh canvas for Kennedy. Now, actually, that may be kitted up in 2025. I might have, if I can finish The Savior is Born, I'm going to kit up Winnie the Pooh before the year ends. So that will still be in my 2025 WIP collection. But there's going to be times when special things might come up, like that Winnie the Pooh project. You know, if Kennedy or one of my kids sees a diamond painting and they really want it, I'm probably going to make an exception to my no kit up rule. The other exception is, and I talked about this last week, I want to have a Captured by Radiance kit in my WIP collection at all times. So I have that Romance Art Classico des Fleurs. Please don't make fun of me for saying that wrong. Don't laugh at me. I know I'm saying it wrong. but I unboxed that on the channel and I'm going to be kitting that up in January. I'm still planning to do that. That is not negotiable for me. So I'm going to kit that one up. And then I need to have a mystery kit going. So I've got to have, when I finish the mystery kit I'm currently working on, I already have my next mystery kit in mind, and I want to always have a mystery kit in my WIP collection. So I will have that mystery kit going also, the new one, when I finish my current one. Those are the exceptions. And then I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm hosting an event with a friend of mine in March. I'm going to have to kit up a new one for that event. That will definitely require a kit up because I don't have a canvas for that particular event. Now, I haven't announced the theme of the event. I've got to talk to my friend who I'm hosting it with, and we've got to make some decisions first before I can announce it. So I'm hoping we'll be able to announce that soon so that everyone will have time to get the canvases that they want for that. It'll probably be a pretty laid back event, more like a paint along, but I'd really love for any of you to join because it's going to be fun and there will be prizes given away and things like that. I've talked to I've talked to one small shop who wants to donate a prize. So anyway, we've got to get together this weekend and really come up with a solid plan and then announce it. So watch for that announcement. It'll probably be a video, and it's going to be a really fun theme for an event. And the two of us are doing canvases that are similar but different by the same shop. So I'll get more into it when I make the announcement, but that will require a kit up. So I've got to do a kit up for that. Here's the thing that I decided. I will allow myself a kit up for rejuvenation. I can't remember what I had. I had a name for it, like a kit up to kind of keep myself from getting burned out of my WIPs. For example, after I finish 5 or maybe 7, I'm not really sure yet how many, after I finish a certain amount of my current WIPs, then I am going to allow myself 1 kit up. 1, not 5 or 7. Okay, so however many, say it's 5. I have to finish 5 kits before I'll let myself kit up 1 kit. And that is just to keep myself from getting burned out of my WIPs, because I'm going to have a WIP collection all the time. It just won't be 25. That's crazy. So anyway, the other thing, and with that being said, if there's a certain diamond painting that I see that I absolutely have to do, then I will hold off on doing that until I get my certain amount done. That's going to be one of those exceptions. Now, I've thought about keeping like Classico de Fleur, however you say it. Again, don't laugh at me, please. I've thought about, instead of counting that as a WIP, I'll just keep it as a project and it won't count as my WIPs, because I want to keep my WIP count different so that I'm seeing a difference as I'm getting these kits done. If I finish 5 WIPs and I'm still at 22, I'm going to get really discouraged. So my point is, my 25 WIP collection going into 2026, that will include the poo that I'm doing for my grandson. I will stay with 25, and then my mystery kit and the Capture by Radiance canvas will be counted as projects. So they're not going to be included in that WIP amount, because I need to see that WIP amount going down as I finish the projects. If it stays the same, I'm not going to feel like I'm making any progress. So does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. It might make more sense as I do it. But anyway, that is my thing. Now, I've received some interest from a lot of you, and I appreciate it so much, that are intrigued by this WIP detox and you want to participate in it. I welcome that. I would love to have any of you who want to participate. Everyone's WIP detox is going to look different for their needs. Not everybody's going to have a WIP collection of 25. That's a little extreme. maybe you have 7 WIPs and that's overwhelming to you. Maybe you have 3 and that's overwhelming to you. Hop onto my WIP Detox and customize it to fit your needs. Maybe you don't want to wait till all 3 are complete before you kit up. Maybe you want to say, I'm going to complete 1 and then I'm going to let myself kit up a mini or a snack size. You decide what's best for you, but you can still be included in my WIP Detox. I think it would be really fun to have a whole group of us doing it at the same time. I think that would be a blast. And I want to hear your success stories from this WIP Detox. I want to know what you complete and when you complete it. So with that being said, I'm considering starting, I don't know. I don't even want to say anything because I don't want to put it out there and then not do it and look flaky. So I'll hold off on anything like that. But it will be really fun to have us all, whoever wants to join in. And like I said, you don't have to have a huge WIP amount. I talked to somebody that has 3 J-walls and they want to join the WIP Detox to get through their 3 J-walls. Hey, I'm great with that. Hop on. Let's do it. Let's do it together. I think that would be really fun. So anyway, I will get more information as we get closer to the year to have like a more solidified plan. But so far, that's kind of my thought is I've got to allow myself a little bit of wiggle room with the kitting up, because if I'm not able to participate in any events, for example, a friend of mine is holding an Ivy Dolomore event and I want to participate. I would really like to do this one particular Ivy Dolomore that I've had in my stash and I really want to get to it. So I was thinking I'd like to participate in that event, but I'm not going to let myself do it unless I get some finishes done first. So I've got to get some completed kits, not just 1 or 2. It's got to be a good portion of the kits before I'll allow myself to kit up for an event. But there's also a J-Wall event that another good friend of mine is having in April. And I want to do a J-Wall so bad. So I'm waiting because I have a shop that might be getting some J-Wall canvases. And if they do, I will be buying a J-Wall from them. And not that I have anything against the current shops that have J-Wall. I don't. I just want to support this one particular shop. So I'm waiting to find out about that. But that'll be fun. So I want to participate in that. And there may be other friends who do the same, have events that I want to participate in and support my friends. And I've got to allow myself some grace to do those things. Anyway, that's my spiel about the WIP Detox. It's going to be really fun. And I've got some ideas on my mind about ways to make it even more fun. That's why I hesitated saying anything, because I just want to be sure that I can handle it before I put it out there. Because if I put it out there and then I'm too stressed out and can't do it, that would not be good. So just be patient with me as far as some formal things coming up regarding the WIP Detox. But we could really have a lot of fun with that. I mean, can you imagine the ideas that could go along with having that WIP Detox and having a group of us work on it? Oh my gosh, it'd be so fun. So the thoughts are in my mind. I'm gonna figure it all out. But let's see what else. I'm trying to think of what's coming up. So we have Christmas next week. I cannot believe Christmas is here already. We have the winter solstice on Sunday. That's kind of cool. I like that. I was going to tell you this. So I did my mid-month WIP parade of my 25 WIPs, and not that any of you would count them, but if you happen to count them, there were only 24 because I forgot my Rhinestone Goddess Creations canvas, which is such a cute project. I am absolutely loving my Rhinestone Goddess Creations canvas. It is Snowy Owl, and I totally did not put that in there. I realized it about a day after I uploaded it, and there was nothing I could do at that point. So if you happen to count them and only come up with 24, I do actually have 25 WIPs. I just forgot all about that one. It was not with all of my other WIPs. And as I was going through, had I had my logbook, I would have seen it. But I was going without my logbook. So totally forgot about Snowy Owl, and it is such a cute canvas. So I'll be showing that here soon so that you can see the progress I've made. I don't have it here with me tonight, or I would show you tonight, but Snowy Owl was not part of my WIP collection. Sadly, it should have been. But it is one of my WIPs, so that is my number 25. Oh my gosh, this canvas is such a dream to work on. I'm really enjoying this artwork, and the way that it's rendered is so amazing. I just love Diamond Art Club's renderings. Love them. I'm seeing some drills that are not lining up quite right. I'm gonna fix those real quick. Anyway, Christmas. So let's talk about that. We are having Christmas Eve with my mom and dad. My mom wants to do prime rib, and we're going to eat dinner with them. Allie and Sydney will be up at their dad's, so I won't have those two. It'll just be me, Kennedy, and Joel. And that's why we were thinking it would be kind of fun to have Christmas Eve with my mom and dad. And I had it all planned out in my mind. Well, then I heard my mom on the phone with my older sister. She lives in California, but she's going to be out here for Christmas. And my mom's like, oh, let's do Christmas Eve here at my house, and we'll do prime rib. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's not that I don't want my siblings here. That's not it at all. I don't want to spend the whole Christmas Eve with a big crowd of people. And they all have pretty big families. And so I think what we're going to do now is have dinner there so I can see my siblings and everything. And then I think we're going to come over here and play Christmas trivia and watch a Christmas movie. And I don't know if they'll stay the night here. I think they will. You know, they can sleep in Allison's bed. I'll just wash the sheets and everything. And I will be up late. Oh, that's the next night. Anyway, I'll be up late. I'm always up late on Christmas Eve. It's fun. We'll probably stay up, watching movies. I don't even know. But anyway, I thought it would be really fun to have a Christmas Eve here with Kennedy and Joel. So that's what we're going to do. And then Christmas morning, we'll be here. Then we always go over to my mom and dad's and have breakfast with them. That's a big deal. Breakfast is a huge deal at my mom and dad's house because they make this amazing, my mom makes this amazing French toast casserole. Oh my gosh, it is so good. She's taught me how to make it. So I don't know if I'll make it this year or if she will. Either way, it is delicious. And then we make wassail, and this French toast casserole, I will get it on camera so you can see it, but it's amazing. It's a really big casserole, really dense with lots of bread, and then you put sour cream, but it has sour cream in it. You put maple syrup on it, just like you would if it was French toast. My mom cuts up bananas, so if you want bananas, you can put bananas on it. Anyway, she makes that in the morning on Christmas, and then everyone who comes over to visit can just have some whenever they come because it stays good. So it's just kind of one of those things that's just in the fridge, and everybody comes over and kind of helps themselves to it when they come and visit. It is so delicious. And then we'll do stockings Christmas morning, probably before we go to my mom and dad's. We'll do the stockings here. Then we'll go over there and eat breakfast, hang out with them for a little while. And then I don't know what we'll do from there, but Allie and Sydney will be back around the middle of the day on Christmas Day. And then I'll hang out with them and probably take a nap because on the 26th, I will be up doing my Christmas premiere video, being in the chat at 2 a.m. So I'll be drinking coffee at about midnight on the 26th, 25th going into the 26th. So that I'll be wide awake for the chat. It's going to be so fun. I'm excited. I was really bummed out last year that I didn't get to be a part of the Christmas premiere. I didn't even know about it until after Christmas. Somebody said, how come you weren't part of the Christmas premiere? And I said, what the heck is a Christmas premiere? And it turns out that anybody can do it. You just have to get kind of invited, and anybody can invite you. So I didn't get invited last year. Apparently I didn't know the right people or something. But this year I got invited, and I was so excited to be a part of it. It's going to be fun. I'm just thrilled. It'll be really fun to watch everybody's premiere videos and see how everybody did it. Like I said, mine's a little bit chopped up here and there because of just some things that I wanted to include. So I put video footage of the animals in their Christmas attire. So that was really fun at Halloween to put them in in Halloween costumes. So when I saw that they had Christmas attire at the pet store for guinea pigs, I had to. You'll see that. You'll see footage of Fallon, and then I take you on some fun adventures with my family. So that is that in a nutshell. I hope that everybody enjoys that video. But just know, remember, it's my first year. So hopefully, if I get invited back next year, I can do it a little bit better. You know, you learn, it's a process. So, but I am very excited to watch everybody's premieres. It'll be fun to see that for sure. Let's see what else. Gosh, I feel like there was more to tell you, but now that I'm thinking about it, I can't come up with it. I have been watching, today was a really fun day. So my mom and dad went to see my dad's sister, and they wanted to visit with her. So they left for quite a while today. And while they were gone, Kennedy actually diamond painted with me. She actually diamond painted with me. I was shocked. She worked on her paint gem kit and she finished it. So now she's moving on to a mini dazzle set. And if you watch the clips at the end, you'll see that. We had a lot of fun today doing that. My aunt was really tired and didn't really want anybody to bug her. So we put a movie on for her, and Kennedy was like, "You want diamond paint?" Sure. So we went into my diamond painting table and diamond painted. And we watched the rest of Kennedy has finished it. In fact, she's watched it like 3 times. We finished the end of, I was halfway through the Sean Combs Reckoning documentary on Netflix. And now I'm really intrigued. I really liked Tupac. And I remember when he was shot, that was so sad. I know he wasn't the greatest guy. I know. I mean, you know, the celebrities, any of the celebrities, not all celebrities, but a lot of them have skewed morals and stuff. And I get that. So I'm not naive to that. But I liked Tupac. I thought he was a really good looking guy. And when he got shot, I just remember feeling so sad. And I didn't know, who was the other guy that was friends with Tupac that died later? Anyway, I didn't know him. I wasn't really big into that type of music. Stop picking on Flash. I wasn't really big into rap. That's not really my scene. Like I said, some of it I like, but I did know Tupac. And I didn't realize there was a connection there. So that was really intriguing to find out about that. And there are a lot of really weird things that took place in that documentary. But I dated a guy for a short time in, it's been like 5 years. And we watched a whole documentary about the East Coast, West Coast war that was going on. And it was really interesting. I really enjoyed that documentary because I had no idea about a lot of those things. I did not know, I was young when that all happened with Tupac. I didn't realize that that was part of that war. And there was a lot that went on that I was naive about. I mean, I just don't think that I knew a lot about it. So I was really intrigued by that documentary, and we finished it today. So if you haven't seen that, you should watch that. It's actually a really good, it's really a pretty interesting documentary, to say the least. I was really interested in that. So if that's something that you feel would be worth your time, you should check it out. But then there's a couple of documentaries that I really like because my mind can't figure them out. One of them is the staircase. Now, we've talked about this before in previous WIP N Chats, but it's been a long time since I brought it up, probably like over a year. The documentary Staircase is really good. Kennedy doesn't like it. She can't get into it. The music depresses her, and she doesn't like Michael Peterson. And so I get that. I didn't like him at first either. I thought his personality was annoying. I didn't like him as a person when I first started the documentary, but I stuck with it. And that documentary messed with my head because I just don't know. It's just one of those things where you want to say that but then you watch it and you're like, wait a minute. Could there be another possibility? Could something else have happened? Could this guy actually just be being set up? It starts to mess with you. And if you watch it with an open mind, that's the key, is you've got to, let yourself accept the possibility that maybe, just maybe, there is another something going on, So that was interesting. I mean, I don't really know for sure. None of us do know for sure what happened. It's never been fully proven either way. He was convicted, but then it was overturned, and he's been waiting for a retrial for years now. And he probably won't ever have one. He probably will never have a retrial, but his life has been ruined. His reputation's been ruined. So that's kind of interesting. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to watch it again, actually, because I watched the mini series, or I don't know what you call it, but it's the episodes, because they put that on Netflix. I think it was originally on, I want to say Hulu. I can't remember, but it was, or HBO. Anyway, it wasn't available on Netflix when I first watched the documentary. In fact, that movie wasn't even a thing yet. That movie came out long after I watched the documentary of Michael Peterson, but I didn't have access to the app that it was on. So I actually canceled my Netflix like a month ago, but Allie wanted to keep it. So Allie's now the one that has the Netflix account. So I've been watching it on her account, and it's just really, that one's good. And I started watching the HBO version of The Staircase that actually has like Colin Firth and some of the other, I can't remember who else is in it, but there's a couple other big names. So I didn't like that one as much because there's a lot of weird things that take place in that show versus the actual documentary. And I'm not really sure how to verify a lot of what's in the documentary. So, or verify what's in the show, but it's still interesting nonetheless. I didn't love the show. I liked the documentary better. And then let me get a drink. I've got to stay hydrated. I haven't had very much water today. Okay. Let's see. I haven't even updated you on everybody. There's really not a lot to update. I'm going to put a video of the bathroom at my mom and dad's house. It's been making a lot of progress. My cousin has been amazing. So my cousin has been over every day working on that bathroom for, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks. He's also helped with some other household things that have come up, like my mom and dad's stove started acting weird. And my mom called him into the kitchen, and he sat and piddled around with the stove and got it working. He did a couple of other things. He's helped my dad. My dad almost fell one day, and he was out in the garage when my dad almost fell, and he helped my dad up. And he's just been kind of a lifesaver to us lately. And so he's been there working really hard on the bathroom, and you will not believe the progress that has been made. He has gotten a lot done, and he's been there doing it by himself, which is amazing. So I am so grateful to him for all of the work that he's done. I think he might be done. I think now it's going to be the plumbers that we're waiting for. So I'll show you at the end a clip of that. It looks really good. Let's see, updates about everybody's doing really good. There's really been no real changes to anything. We've just been kind of coasting along doing our thing, and trying to, not be super stressed out like I was. That's been good. I mean, things have been good. Knock on wood, I'm really hoping that everything stays mellow and things just start falling into place. I have to have faith that they will. A lot of you have said that, and I believe that 100%. Thank you for reminding me. I do believe that if you just keep the faith and keep moving forward and keep persevering and staying positive, things have a way of working themselves out. And I do believe that, and I appreciate those of you who reminded me of that, because that's true. It's so true. I got one of my Diamond Art Club mystery boxes. I was so excited. So it was on Cyber Monday. I ordered a box number 1 and a box number 2. I have not gotten box number 1 yet. I mentioned that last week in my WIP N Chat, but I did get box number 2. So I shared that in a video that it went up today. And I'm really happy with what I got. Really happy. I was kind of hoping for one that I didn't get, but it might be, I haven't watched a lot of the unboxings because I really wanted to try to keep it a surprise. And I have not seen the 2 that I got. I've never seen those before. I mean, I know they're never before seen, but what I mean is I haven't seen them in anybody's posts or Cyber Monday unboxings, but I have really tried to not watch them because I wanted to be surprised. So, anyway, I'm happy with both of them, but we'll see what I get with the mystery box number 1. I'm still anticipating that. I don't know when I'll get it. My Black Friday haul, it's not really a haul, but kind of small haul, came in, and I'm going to be sharing those. I'm so excited. I have 2 new to me shops that I'm going to be sharing also. Now keep in mind, the structure of my channel will be changing going into 2026. So what I unbox will not necessarily be what I'm going to be kitting up in the upcoming month. That's hard for me to train my mind. But with that in mind, I can't wait to show you some of these small shops that, oh my gosh, they're new to me shops too. And that's what's incredibly fun. So those will be coming up. I have one that will go up on Saturday, and then I have another new to me shop that will be going up next week. So watch for those. It's exciting, but I'm I got to train myself to know that I'm not kidding anything up right now. It's hard. It's hard, especially with the Black Friday releases, because there's 2. I mean, I love all of the ones that I got, but there's a couple that I want to do them so bad. But I'm going to be good and wait until I get my WIP detox completed before I kit anything up like that. So we're going to be waiting on those. That's going to be rough, but we can do it. Anyway, let's see. Mom and Dad are doing really good. My dad had some skin cancer burned off of his face today. And I guess my mom was saying that he's eligible for a study that they might do. So my mom and dad are talking about that. That's kind of cool because my dad has got these spots that keep coming back. And this study would help with that, apparently. Or that's the goal of the study, is to stop him from coming back. So he might be doing that. I don't know. We'll see. My aunt made her famous fruitcake. You guys, I don't even like fruitcake ever, but my aunt's fruitcake is my grandma's recipe. So my dad's mom, and she makes it just like my grandma made it, soaks it in rum forever. But it is the best fruitcake I have ever had, ever. It is so moist and the flavor is amazing. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I need to get my hands on that recipe because I'm not a cook. As you'll see in the clips from this week, I'm not a cook. Can I cook? Yes. Do I like to cook? Sometimes, but I'm not that good at it. So anyway, I would really love, though, to try out cooking that fruitcake. I think that would be really good. This week is going to be really fun because I want to do candy with my mom, and I would like to do that before my sister comes, just because I want my mom to take the time to really show me how to do it. And I don't want my sister putting her 2 cents in. I want it to be my mom's method and recipe for the candy because my mom makes amazing candy. Her toffee, her butter toffee is, I've never tasted anybody's toffee like my mom's ever. And there are some good toffees out there, but my mom's is incredible. I guess we all kind of think that about our moms, right? So it's kind of just one of those things that you just always think. All right, well, I have finished my section. So I'll end here, but I just want to thank all of you so much for joining me for this WIP N Chat. Please let me know in the comments what you worked on as you were listening. I love to hear what everybody's working on. I would also love to hear anything that you are going to be doing in 2026 that is fun and different going into the new year. It doesn't even have to be diamond painting related. It can be anything. I would really love to hear about that. It's always fun to hear from you, and I truly mean that. I love hearing from all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please take care of yourselves, stay warm, stay healthy, and stay hydrated. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. It is Friday night, and we have been, this night's turned into the biggest crap show ever.
The worst.
Allie's driving, and Sydney's in the back.
I've never had a worse night in my entire life.
Kennedy's been having a rough night, and it's the night before her gender reveal. So we decided we were going to go get her dinner. That's where it started. Are you just going to run it in?
Yeah, I don't think she's allowed to hang out.
Is that Joel's car?
Oh.
Is he here?
I guess so.
Oh. So anyway, it's just been turned into a big mess. And then we were going to Target to get her food, or to Taco Bell to get her food. And Sydney called, and she was done with work. So we had to run over and get Sydney. Anyway, just a big mess. So now we are here giving Kennedy her food.
I have no idea.
You're the one who is going senile.
I don't know what you're even talking about.
It is Tuesday morning, and I'm cooking Sid breakfast. One of the many things that I am not good at in the kitchen is slicing bread. So we have this loaf of bread here, right? I'm going to slice it, and we'll see how I do. And I'm going to make her some toast. This is so exciting. Can't get through the bottom of the crust. Well, I didn't do too bad. It's a little lopsided. We are going to make scrambled eggs because Sid likes her eggs scrambled. And then we're going to voila, here is her amazing breakfast. Toast with huckleberry jam and scrambled eggs. Kennedy wants to show me her first purchases for little baby Juno.
This cute.
Oh my gosh, I love the oh, cute. Just a
Joel
second,
really
Helen.
likes these. So
Oh, those are cool.
we got this.
Oh,
With the matching hat.
okay. Update on the bathroom. My cousin has been here every day working on this bathroom. Look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? So the tile is all done, and the grout is put in, and I think he's doing the caulking this weekend, and then we're just waiting for the plumbing fixtures, and we're gonna paint, and it'll be done. So explain this to me. I asked you to diamond paint with me yesterday, and the day before, and the day before. And you said, no, I don't feel like diamond painting. And then I leave yesterday, and what did you end up doing while I was gone?
I diamond painted.
What do I have to do to get you to diamond paint with me? You just don't like my company?
I will do it today.
Okay.
I'm just, listen, here's my thing. I have 2 more of those those little ones that look similar, so I don't want to do them.
The butterfly paint gem.
Yeah, I'm not passionate about those ones, so I've just kind of been putting it off.
Maybe what will motivate you is to pick out a next project.
Yeah, probably.
Kennedy and I have spent the day diamond painting together, partially the day. Look, she finished her butterfly edition. This is Kennedy's next project, the veggie edition from Diamond Art Club. The mini dazzles, she's got it kitted up and ready to go. and she's gonna diamond paint with me today. Yay!